Hello, hello, hello. I have two flowers. Camellia Japonica. What is this there? Is that a spider? Is this a spider? Oh my goodness. It is a spider. It is a spider. Oh my goodness, yes it is. A spider. A white spider. A little spider hanging off the flower. Ha! Okay. Alright, anyway. I'm sorry, spider. I don't like to accidentally bring a spider into the house because they need to be outside. This is so pretty. So pretty. And petals are coming off and I'm eating them. Mmm. Mmm. They taste a little bit like Play-Doh. I don't know why. Really pretty. Oh, this is so pretty. That's nice. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Mwah. 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 The flowers are kissing you. The flowers, those are pure, infinite love suns. Oh, by the way, those are called Professor Sargent. Camellia Japonica Professor Sargent. That is the full name. Yes, you can call me Professor. Yes, I am a professor. I'm the love professor. Yes, I know what love means. Yes, we are infinite power. Yes, that's what we are. They have a very, very light scent. And the scent is very, very faintly going in that carnation direction, but not 100% like carnation. They look a little bit like carnation, these flowers, but they're not. They also look a little bit like geranium flowers, but they're not. This is Camellia Japonica Professor Sargent, and this is a Japanese decorating garden hedge plant. And these flowers come out right now in early February. And it is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful, fresh, almost like in the direction of carnation and geranium, but very, very light, mild scent. Very nice. So I'm gonna put that in here to cover up my frumpy neck. That's what I'm doing. And it feels so good. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that feels so good. I love the way that feels. That's absolutely gorgeous. And I also have another artwork here. This is a rough artwork because it is one of my cookies. A rough cookie, a rough cube. And it's nice. I don't want cookie crumbs to go into my computer. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's another petal. Camellia Japonica, or antiviral, and just a few petals, eating a few petals is a very potent antiviral medicine and vaccination as well. And I recommend if people give that to their dogs, if the dogs have the symptoms of the flu or something, give 1 or 2 petals from the flower into the dog food. And when they're not blooming, I would say give a quarter of a leaf and shred that into very small confetti pieces and mix that into the dog food. That will be potent enough. Because this plant is full of antiviral medicine, but it is whole plant medicine. It is safe in those kind of amounts, like half a teaspoon of petal or half a teaspoon of leaves, shredded leaves. I have to just brush all of this off the keyboard. I have a fleece pillow. It's about the size of the monitor, and it has one fluffy side, and I use that to brush off the keyboard. That works very well. It's real nice and peaceful here. I really enjoy being here. I want the colors to come out. This shows the colors better. And we did some grounding today earlier on the lawn. It was really nice. I was out there barefoot with my jogging pants and just this here on, not with my winter outfit, and it felt so good. The grass on my feet, on my bare feet, felt so good. And lying down on my belly with my elbows propped up like that, because I can't lie down on my chest. That would hurt too much. So yeah, that's how I like to be grounding myself. Lying on my belly with my elbows up like this and my chest up like that. Like a sphinx. And then the baby dog, he comes over. When he sees me on the grass, he comes over and he sits on my butt. He goes in between my legs and sits with his butt on my butt. And that feels so good. It's so nice, that body contact of love, unconditional love, non-sexual love. Feels good. Those things are heavenly. Mm, heavenly. The nuts that are in here, there are some nuts in here. They're from, I don't know, from like over 10 years ago or something. Mm. They taste rancid, those nuts. Like old rancid peanuts. I have to put that away in the compost. Mm. This is good stuff. I'm gonna make this from now on. This is very satisfactory. It really fulfills my candy craving, and I can experiment with that. I use myself as a test person, and it doesn't hurt to experiment with different plants to put in it, to blend up, and then maybe the camellia blended with water or blended with plant milk, and then pour that onto the flour and knead that together. And cane, like whole cane, this is always the key. Whole plant substance. Whole cane sugar. Okay. Or brown sugar is even more concentrated with nutrients. Molasses has the highest, the absolute highest mineral and nutrient rich condensed substance. And very sweet, of course. And it's nutrient giving. It's nutritious, it's healthy, it's life-giving, healing. That's the most important thing there is. When I eat candy from the store, I know that this is not good for me. I know it's not good. It's a temporary fix and like a hot hunger craving, like extreme craving. And it doesn't feel good because I know it's not good. It's not healthy. So I'm not going to do it anymore. I made that commitment. Right here in front of my computer for the last couple of videos, I talked about this. I am not going to buy any more candy, sugar, cake, whatever is out there. Dr. Scholl's calls that merchandise. He doesn't call that food. Rightly so. It's a real neurotic development in society to manufacture food that is not good for us. This is a very neurotic, unhealthy movement. It's been going on for too long now. Okay? It has to come to an end. Yeah, we can't accept that anymore. It's finished. No, can't accept it anymore. No, I don't want any of that stuff anymore. I want whole plant substances, whole wheat flour, whole grain flour, whole oats. No more coconut products because it comes from exploitation. Then honey is good. I recommend honeycomb, which is the natural, just the way it comes from the beehive, with those, I don't know how they're called, octagon shape crevices that they create, and with the beeswax and everything on it, with the honey and the propolis. Propolis is a substance that they weave into it that comes out of their bodies, and that substance is antiviral and extremely health beneficial. So the entire honeycomb piece chunk that you can buy, those are always sold out because people know that those are the best, because they can't mix anything into those, they can't cheat the customer. Yeah. They can't dilute it. This is the raw honey with everything on it. My dad always bought that, and then he would cut a slice off, thin slice of the honeycomb with everything on, and he would put that on his bread roll. Butter on it first, and then the honeycomb on. It tastes so good. But I guess the best is to buy molasses. It's a side product of the sugar industry. Might just as well get it because they have it. No more white sugar. Never again. And no more chocolate. No more cocoa. I have some Swiss Miss packets there that I'm phasing out now. After that's gone, I will not be consuming cocoa anymore. I had 2 years of my life when we had Kenny, our albino Great Dane, where I was completely off chocolate, completely off cocoa. And I would say, I was sitting here earlier thinking about my life, and I thought those 2 years were the best years of my life so far. Mainly because of Kenny, because he was the blue god incarnated. And also, I was doing better. I was happier. When I'm happier, I'm not so addicted. And when I'm not so addicted, then it's much easier for me to quit chocolate or candy and stuff like that. So I tried that for 2 years. It was so much better. And in those 2 years, I was composing music, I was singing. I was singing every day. Alexandra Nefedov songs, and also got myself the Lorena McKennitt song, and some depressing songs, arias, partitas from Bach compositions. When I sang Alexandra's songs, particularly the very sad ones, all of her songs are sad. My mother looked exactly like Alexandra Nefedov. Like almost exactly like her. If you look up Alexandra Nefedov, you will only get to see her in her absolute bloom, somewhere around between 20 and 27, were all of her photos made. Beautiful woman, amazing chanson singer. She was from the east part of Germany, but I think Russian ancestors. That's why I know for sure I have all of that in me as well. Her actual name is Doris Treitz, but her artist name is Alexandra Nefedov. Alexandra, that's how she called herself. That's her artist name. Then she married a Russian with the last name Nefedov, so I guess she must not have liked her actual name. I see nothing wrong with the name Doris. Doris Treitz, that sounds very, very Eastern European and Eastern German, that name. Treitz or Nietzsche. Nietzsche comes from that area as well. And yeah, she looked 100% like my mother, same year. I think they were about the same age. No, Alexandra was a little bit younger than my mother. Just a few years younger than my mother. But you could have exchanged them, people would not have noticed anything. My mother looked so much like her. And also the way she was dressed in the late 60s, the flower power fashion era. That's my favorite one. They had beautiful outfits. And the way she had her hair. My mother looked exactly like Alexandra. With the hairdo, the same hairdo, the same, except they have the same hair structure, same hair color, same face, same eyes, same eye color, dark brown eyes, dark brown hair. That big, huge Pinocchio nose that points up a little bit. Bambi eyes. The same body. Very much like Pamela Anderson's body. And in those dresses, when I told my mother, I can tell my mother never thought she was pretty. So later on, I understood all of that with my mother, psychologically. So then I made sure to tell my mother that she looked just like Alexandra. And I'm not exaggerating. I don't compliment someone just to make them feel better. I will compliment someone consciously to make them feel better. But I'm not going to lie or make something up. I will compliment someone when I know that this compliment is for real. This is the truth. And I kept telling her, and she was kind of brushing it off and not really accepting that, not really thinking that's the truth. And I think that's sad. That my mother didn't feel beautiful. And guess what? She passed that mental illness onto me. That idea that she had, that she carried with her, this thought of feeling unattractive or undesirable. And she made me feel like this as well, because she never worked on it. If she had the chance to work on that feeling, this feeling of, oh, nobody likes me, I'm not pretty enough, or whatever, or men don't like me, or I don't compare to others, or whatever was going through her mind. She would actually say things like, I know that others are always better than me. And she wasn't just saying this to fish for compliments. She really thought that. As a child, I didn't know how to make her feel better. I didn't know what to say. I didn't say anything. She probably expected me to be her god and therapist at age 5. But how can I be, right? I was just confused about all of this. My dad started an affair when I was 9 years old. And that was brutal for my mother. She went into a denial about it, never worked on it. Like, instead of working on it and saying, oh, this is painful, let me sit with this. No, she goes into reverse. She goes into complete denial. She goes into, let me deal with it my way. I'm going into denial about it. I'm going to pretend this is not happening. So it's just not happening. I'm closing my eyes. Now I don't see myself in the computer. Okay? Now I don't have to worry. That is the logistics of a 2-year-old child when they play hide and seek. Okay? The 2-year-old child will literally put her hands over her eyes and say, now you can't see me anymore because I can't see you. Okay, and that's how denial works. That's how my mother works. I don't know. It seemed to be effective for her, this denial. I don't believe it. Thus, it doesn't exist. It's like some kind of like a transcendental meditation sort of, practice, like a yoga type of the transcendence of reality type of practice. Like she could have become a fakir, maybe sit on needles and pins in a yoga position and chant, I am sitting on a soft cushion, and probably nothing would have happened to her butt. So, I don't know. That makes me want to do OCD rituals. Just thinking about it. Yeah. All of that is a prayer and mantras, and all of that is That's all OCD, and it's okay, I just have to pay more attention to it and make sure that it doesn't get out of control with this OCD. Yeah. That's not good. This also helps with the double chin. If you put that on the double chin every day, like this, then the double chin is gonna dissolve and you're gonna look like a Barbie doll. No, I'm making this up now. I'm not going into denial about that. The double chin is not going anywhere. No, it's not. The frumpy chin and neck is not going anywhere. I'm a frog. Yes, yeah, don't become baggy here. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that. Yeah. We don't want that. That's nice. It feels really nice. If you do this to your eyes, and all of your tea bags are gonna go away. No, I'm kidding. But it's all gonna help. All of this is gonna definitely help. This feels so incredibly good and soothing and relaxing. I should have made the photo like this. This is a great photo. Maybe the computer will do one snapshot of this. Here, AGI, can you make a snapshot with that? Maybe it will do it. There is a petal on my eyelid. So these are so much fun. They are so nice. So nice. And when I squish them, they are full of water. The water would drip into my keyboard. I can't do this now. Okay. But they are so nice. So nice. But I can make tea with it, and I'm going to put them into my thermos. Here's my thermos, and I'm going to put this in, just like that. So now, all I need to do is, that was an OCD ritual. All I need to do is now, I need to go upstairs, I need to boil water and pour it in and let it sit for 2 hours, and then I can drink the tea. That's what I can do. Hello. Kissy, kissy, kissy. It tastes a little bit bitter, but that's okay. I thought this looks good together. The sweatshirt with the jacket. I really like it. That's how I would design clothes too. Just like that. And then sell it at Walmart. It's my favorite store. Don't laugh about that. People already called me Walmart girl. I don't care. I love Walmart. I did get upset when Tex-Mex called me Walmart. It was a couple of years ago. It doesn't bother me anymore. I'm immune to that now. I don't know why he does that. I don't know what's going on in that man's brain, but obviously he feels the need to say mean things. But it's much meaner to say to someone, "You look like Margaret Thatcher." Now that takes it another levels higher than Walmart. Margaret Thatcher, no, that's an insult that cannot be matched by Walmart or Amazon. Margaret Thatcher. Yeah. That is not nice to Margaret Thatcher to call me Margaret Thatcher. That is meaner to Margaret Thatcher than it is to me, actually, because that means that they think Margaret Thatcher looks bad. Yeah, that is the case. Yeah, so I have to unfortunately agree. Okay, so I'm gonna make myself Camellia Japonica tea next. And then I'm also gonna finish up my boards. I made 2 boards that maybe Paul can install tomorrow on the steps outside of the side door. This is what happens there, so I can give people some good advice on this here. We learn from our mistakes. Paul doesn't, but for me this is crystal clear now. What happened is, when Kenny got hip problems, Paul installed a ramp out there that went over the steps. And part of that ramp was also attached to the upper part of the steps, and then I fell down this ramp 2 times because it was slippery, and then I slid right onto my butt. And then, because, rain and then moss growing on it. So, and then he installed roofing paper on that ramp. So then we didn't slip anymore. But the roofing paper, and then also this entire constellation, which was made out of wood boards, but with the roofing paper now, that really did it. Because the roofing paper, when that's on there for several years, well, that's guaranteed to cause wood rot. And that's what happens. So mold grows in water and carbon. So whatever mold spores got on there, that obviously kept itself in this niche underneath. The wet niche underneath the roofing paper with those wood beams, wood boards. And then the mold grew, and it just kept on growing, black mold, of course. And then it rotted, it ate into the wood. And that's what's called wood rot, okay? And it makes the wood mush where it crumbles apart. And then you step on it, you might even fall right through. Okay? It's very dangerous, particularly when you have dogs or you have children or older people. They can fall right through something like this. So, and why bother with doing something? Why cause it? Wood rot in the first place. It never had it before, so because we had the steps there and we put some like step mats there, like made out of old car tires, but they have loops in it, so air gets through, it breathes, and when oxygen and air gets through, then the mold cannot be setting foot in there. Okay, so but with the roofing paper nailed or screwed onto it, that's guaranteed to cause wood rot. So I took the roofing paper off. That made Paul mad. I explained to him what's up. He doesn't seem to really understand it. It's obvious, yeah. And then I told him to remove the ramp. We don't need the ramp. Baby dog doesn't need a ramp. We don't need a ramp. It's just 3 steps. So the upper steps had to be completely removed because of wood rot, and then some parts on the upper deck are also rotted, and it looks terrible. So for that I painted 2 boards. Those are 1x4 or something, 1x4 boards, and 1 inch in depth and 4 inches wide, and they look really, really nice. I have to do some touch up now upstairs, and then tomorrow, after one night it's fully cured, we can install them on the back of the upper steps, where the wood is completely hollowed out with black mold and like chewed through. It looks terrible. We want to sell this house. We want to make this look nice. This is very important. And I don't want to he wanted to put some kind of wood lamination on there. I told him that doesn't last at all. Well, that will hold us over just until we sell the house so it looks better. That's not how my brain functions. I'm not corrupt like this. I want this to last for the people who take over this house. Yeah. I want them to be happy here. That's how my brain functions. That's why I'm saying I am an indigo and Paul is a light worker. He cares too, but when it comes to money, there's a little bit corruptibility. Okay. No, I don't function like this. I want the people to really like this house and be happy. I want them to be protected. The blue god, I painted the blue god onto those boards. And once Paul has installed these 2 beams, he had cut them to the right height to fit the back of the upper step. And once that is all installed, then that's gonna look really, really nice. So you won't see the mold anymore or the holes underneath, and you can still walk up, with a 12-inch foot, which he has 12-inch feet, just like that King James, after which was the measurement with the foot. That is the foot, because King James' foot is that. So then that is the norm for everyone else, no matter what other people's foot size is. And I can wear shoes in that size too, but my feet are women's size 12, which is men's size 11. Okay, so my feet are 1 inch shorter than Paul's. He has quite long feet, but very skinny feet. I have very wide and pudgy feet. So I have the typical German foot shape. That's how the Birkenstock foot outlining has been formed after the typical German foot. And they're very comfortable. The problem with them, I talked about this before, the soul is not what I want. I want the soul to be MBT or sketch her shape up. So something like this, like a rocker bottom. So, but even more rocker bottom. That would be my ideal shoe. Has not been invented yet. Invented, yes, in my brain, but not created. So, and once that is installed, these two boards, then the blue god that is painted on the boards, blue god in dog form, blue god in human form, in matching colors, matching the paint of the deck, of course, and I even used the paint on one formation in it. And the other colors all very pastel and kind of like burgundy and dark blue. Looks really good. Maybe I'll show it once it's installed. So the blue god will protect all living beings on this property forever and ever and ever and ever. And the blue god will protect all beings from whatever terrible things some people think, like I heard terrible stories. I don't even want to get into it now, like rituals and stuff like this. I'm not going to get into it. Religious type of stuff. So the blue god is going to protect all living beings from religious stuff, from religion, from brainwash, from murder, from violence, and so on. So now the sun is going down and it is getting quite dim outside. And I'm going to close the video now. So this is going to be awesome. These boards on the steps, the blue god protecting this property. The blue god is already protecting this property because the blue god is buried there in the back of the garden and the papa dog next to him. And the blue god is everywhere in this house and in my art form. Okay, these two paintings I'm going to take with us to. We're going to take these two paintings to the other house. So I'm going to install these two plates above Paul's bed. In Paul's bedroom, we have still some space there on the wall. And most of the other stuff is going to stay here. All of those. It's too dark now. But the stuff in the staircase, all of these things are going to stay here. The cameraman upstairs, all of that stays here. So, and protects the house. And these boards will protect people from falling down the steps or from religious terrible stuff and whatever people do, okay? That will protect all beings from rituals, and it will protect people from burglars. It will protect people from the husband going out with another woman. All of that, okay? So you guys take care. Bye-bye.